Hey guys, it's Dana and welcome back to my channel for another edition of my September favorites, or my monthly favorites, which we are in the month of September. I will again start with my music favorites and go through those, talk a little bit about them, share a few lifestyle favorites, and then move into my makeup favorites, etc. So, for the month of September, I actually slowed down significantly in the amount of concerts that I saw this month. I only saw 3, which is still a lot. My musical playlist interests come from concerts that I'm going to go see. I generally put those songs on my playlist, and one of the concerts that I went to see was Maren Morris, and my absolute favorite song from her is My Church. And My Church is obviously about her love of music. So one of my favorite kind of parts in the song is when Hank brings the sermon, Cash brings the choir. And if you are a country music fan, you know that Hank Williams and Johnny Cash are everything. And the feeling that this song gives me is excitement for music. And I absolutely adore Maren Morris. She is an amazing artist. She is fantastic live. I would absolutely recommend seeing her, and I would go see her again. I also really like 80s Mercedes from her as another song with a little bit more of a poppy up song, but she is definitely a great female artist and one to watch if you have not listened to her before. I highly recommend clicking on my playlist and listening to her. She is fantastic. Now, another concert that I went to this month, and he is one of my all-time favorite artists, is Steve Earle, and it was the 30th anniversary of Copperhead Road, and I can't pick between which albums are my favorite, if it's Copperhead Road or if it's Guitar Town. Each have so much sentimentality to me, but the song that I did pick was Copperhead Road, and the reason I love Copperhead Road so much is Steve Earle, I feel like, really started that blend of country and rock together. That is still the artist. This is what I think a lot of artists nowadays are trying to do in poppy country, which I like. I'm doing the whatever. I like that. I don't know. Steve Earle would be insulted by me saying that. People are trying to be like him, but I believe they are. I believe Copperhead Road, that song, brought together the absolute perfect blend of country and rock, and it was a song that influenced me so very early on, and that's probably why I have such a strong passion for country music, as well as rock music. I love rock music. You guys know this. If you've been watching me at all, you will have heard me talk about some of my other favorite bands like Guns N' Roses and Metallica. I am definitely not a genre-specific music lover. I love literally everything. And another concert that I went to, which I am going to actually talk about the concerts that I went to in a later video, but I did go to the Outlaw Music Festival and I saw Willie Nelson, and he did Good Hearted Woman, and I absolutely love this song. It really resonates with me, and it just makes me feel like dancing. And just not just dancing, but it reminds me of, and I don't think I've talked too much about this yet on my channel, but my father used to take my brother and I to taverns when we were younger, and it reminds me of him two-stepping, like doing the two-step with women that he would meet at these lovely establishments, and I think it's a unique way to grow up in your childhood. So he would take us to the Stampede Ranch, which I believe is still located in Guelph, and it wasn't like totally out of the norm for people to bring their kids during the day in there on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon, and yeah, it really reminds me of those times in my life, and I love it. I got to hear Willie do it live, and that's something that I'll never forget, and it's something that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. Then another song that I'd like to touch on is Tiny Dancer. So this actually came from one of the podcasts from No Sleep to Sudbury that I listened to. I can't remember who brought it up, but I put it in my playlist because I was thinking, I don't even know if it was that they brought up Tiny Dancer necessarily, or they just brought up Elton John, which I love. He is an incredible artist, and Tiny Dancer reminded me of somebody, and I put it in my playlist, and this song makes me feel good. Something about piano is beautiful to hear, and if you follow me on Instagram at all, you would know that there was a piano in the bottom of my basement that somebody was giving away, and someone did come pick it up. I hope that's what happened, and our building did not throw it out, but the piano is now gone, and that's probably part of the other reason that I was inspired to listen to Elton John, is because of the piano playing. I'm actually surprised now that I didn't put anything from Billy Joel on the list, because he is also, I'm actually going to go back and put that on, because Mr. Piano Man, oh my god, I love that song. But yeah, that is my list of song favorites for the month of September. I will link my playlist down below that I was listening to most. There is definitely some artists that I didn't touch on from the Outlaw Musical Festival that are in there that I did enjoy, and now I will move into a small lifestyle favorite. So as you can see, I did get this from Jared and Marlene. I call it my fainting chair. I have actually wanted a chaise lounger for a little while, and looks like they will be moving house soon, so they were clearing things out, and they knew how much I love the fainting chair, so they gave it to me. So that is a big September favorite. That's going to be an October favorite, I'm sure. Something else that is a big favorite is I was at Winners, and I found these skull pillows. Actually, this was from HomeSense, but I had been looking for skull pillows for a while, and they are black velvet, and they are lush, and they are beautiful, and I love them. So on to my makeup favorites for the month. I will say, it being quarter end, I was very kind of basic. I was so busy with work that I just tried to stick with key things, and you'll kind of see that. So starting with my lashes and mascara that I wore, this is very extra. It is for mascaras, but I will say that this combo, or more than combo, actually allows me not to wear fake lashes, because it does really look like you're wearing fake lashes. This has been on my channel since I started doing the monthly favorite. It is the It Cosmetics Tight line, and that is the first layer. It gets really in at the roots and brings things out. Then the Lash Paradise, the primer from Voluminous Lash Paradise, is amazing. That is the next layer that goes on, and it really fans out the lashes nicely. And then the CoverGirl Supersizer is the next layer that goes on. And then I follow it up with the Lash Paradise mascara. And then sometimes I'll go back in with the It Cosmetic Tight line and just fan things out, and then I always use this one for my lower lash line. I absolutely love the way this looks. I feel like it does look like you're wearing false lashes without the work of false lashes, but I do have a favorite false lash, and there's nothing in here, but I did want to mention it's the 38s from MAC, so I actually wore them, I know, at least twice this month. In terms of, like, I actually put 2 separate sets of these on this month, and they are flared out, and they're very natural looking, and they typically, with MAC lashes, if I put them on well, the way I can wear them is I can wear them for anywhere to 2 to 3 days wear time. So I will put them on, and then I'll be careful about my makeup removal, not to remove my lashes, and then I'll just keep doing them and then add and layer mascara to them. But those are lashes that I have loved for this month. My brows also come from MAC. This has been in my favorites before, and it's the Brow Sculpt Pencil in Fling and the setting mascara in Empathetically Blonde. I still am enjoying that. And then something that's kind of unusual is I did not use many eyeshadow palettes. I might have used my Aspinall Verde a few times, but I was really concentrating and focusing on using up my Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, which I also use on the eyes, and I am definitely getting down. That is actually the eye look that I have on now. As I've probably mentioned before in my channel, I typically do mostly matte eyeshadows except for on the lid, and then what I have been using as a eyeshadow on the lid is actually a highlighter. It's Whisper of Guilt from MAC, and that is what I have on my lid, and layered in the inner corner a little more is a highlighter of mine, which has been very, very well loved. It's from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is the Amrezy highlighter. I do actually have a backup of this, and I absolutely love it. I did forget to mention, as my lash primer, I have been using the Fair from Kat Von D, and I really like it. It basically twists up. It does really lock in place the eyeshadow throughout the day, and I have really been liking it. It was on one of the Sephora weekly wows. I'm not sure if it's actually being discontinued or what, but I do really enjoy that. Other highlighter palette that I have loved is my Ambient metallic palette from Hourglass. Still very much a favorite of mine. Again, another palette that I showed last month that I have been thoroughly enjoying again this month is from Becca, and it's the Be Optimistic with the highlighting and blur powder. And then the bronzer I've been using, and the blush I've been using a fair bit too. I do really like this blush a lot. Another blush palette that I mentioned last month, and I still have been kind of working away on the same end here into those three shades you can see. I do absolutely love the Love Flush blush palette from Too Faced, and yes, I am getting very close to the end of Baby Love in this one, but it's a really easy thing to just go into, and I'll basically swirl into those two or these three, or a little bit. I have been using the pink ones now that it is fall and I'm getting into a little more cool tones, but before the fall came, I was really loving September and the little heat wave that we had, and I was using this Tom Ford, the Coral, a lot. I did use the highlighter a little bit and the bronzer in here. I do really love this compact, and I got a good amount of use out of it in the month of September. And that being said, on the lip front, so on my lips, I use this a lot. It's actually from Jordana, and it's like a lip stain. And it was in the coral color, which went very well with the Tom Ford. I did use a little bit of the gloss from Too Faced, the lip injection, which is that corally color, which I really enjoyed on my days where I was being more low-key. It was still this buxom gloss bomb. Something else that I really enjoyed in the month of September was lining my lips, and this is Soar Lip Liner and Soar Lip Gloss, which I really enjoyed. And what I am wearing today is Liar Lip Liner from Urban Decay, along with the Liar Lipstick. I have it in the cream and the sheer. The sheer I like for touch-ups during the day, but the cream, I do like putting that on in the morning and kind of walking to work in that. So again, one of my summer loves is the Warm Soul, and I use that a fair bit during the month of September. For my face, I did stick to a lot of basics. So for primer, I was using the Hangover Primer from Too Faced a lot. and I did lighten up what I was using under my eyes a little bit. I have been using the Bobbi Brown corrector with the peach color to correct any darkness, but then I actually picked up, and this was on a Sephora Weekly Wows, the Fair Naked concealer, and I've been using that under my eyes a lot, and I do really enjoy that. Something that I had been consciously using a lot of because I feel like this is going to be too dark for me soon is the medium from Charlotte Tilbury. It is the highlighter. I do have it on today. It's actually, you can put it underneath the foundation as well too. When I went to go buy it, they were out of the light medium, so I got the medium at the time because I was tan enough for it, but unfortunately summer is over and my tan is going to fade, so I think I'll have to go back and get the light medium at some point. Shape Tape has been a go-to. The hydrating one is really actually my favorite from Tarte for the foundation. And then this is kind of extra, but I have been using the Fix Plus with the shimmers in it. So I got the gold first and I really liked it, so I went back and got the pink one. And then this is the Inglot setting spray as well. And this is the Makeup Fixer, and as you can see, it is pretty close to the bottom. I have really enjoyed using that. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you like my monthly favorites, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any favorites you would like to share with me, musically or makeup-wise, please list them down below. Thank you again for tuning in, and always remember, life's a journey, not a destination, so buckle up and enjoy the ride.